The Salish Sea and the San Juan Islands are one of the richest cultural and biologically diverse areas in the world. Vast fjords and penetrating waters carved through the mountains, creating the watersheds of British Columbia, feeding the waterways of the San Juan Islands. Called the Ish River Country by poet Robert Sund, the Ish River refers to the many rivers in the Salish Sea that end in the sound Ish. The word Ish means the people of a certain place and refers to all the indigenous people that through time immemorial have occupied every part of this land. It has been home to many generations of indigenous peoples, a rich mosaic of cultural indigenous life, an archipelago dotting the coastline teeming with humpback whales, porpoise, orcas, octopus, sea lions, and eagles soaring throughout the region. The shoreline, a teeming environment of fish, kelp beds, sea mammals, and all that contributes to this balanced marine ecosystem. Indigenous bands have traveled for hundreds, if not thousands of years here by canoe, using the waterways as their routes for seasonal lifeways. Villages housed the harvesting, cooking, and cultivating of hundreds of people at times. Along with the cultural traditions of weaving, carving, song, dance, and canoe building, the San Juan Islands and western coast of Washington state are full of thousands of indigenous people whose ancestors gathered here in established areas to harvest food, steam clams, weave baskets, smoke fish, and celebrate the bounty the land had provided. The Treaty of Point Elliott in 1853 removed families from their ancestral lands. As European settlers came to claim lands for their own and use them for agriculture and farms, the indigenous people lost their rights. Currently, there is no systematic protection for the totality of truly irreplaceable cultural sites within the region. Monitoring of shorelines is nearly non-existent, and the privatizing of most of the lands along Washington's coastline has made it the responsibility of private landowners to uphold the law and hire an archaeological monitor to survey their property before development begins. There's so much to be learned and cherished in taking action in our own backyards. Thousands of years of living culture is at stake, and we can help prevent the destruction of these sites where people existed for generations. Birthing and dying, dancing and fishing, gathering and harvesting, seasonal and medicinal plants and foods. Let us as a community learn to partner with tribes through land stewardship and preservation practices. We can work in collaboration with local tribes to educate ourselves and our youth of the rich heritage we are all a part in the stewardship process. It requires families to carry the Truth and Reconciliation motto to action, standing for the sacred cultural sites remaining. We do this by educating ourselves and visitors, caring with pride as we recognize how we are all a part of cultural landscape heritage. Our community-based organization, Falcon Cultural Resources, works in partnership with local tribes and trains tribal members to monitor and protect ancient archaeological and sacred sites across Washington. This is an opportunity to fund a community-based organization whose mission is cultural site preservation on a landscape scale. There are thousands of sites that are a non-renewable resource and should not be destroyed. They deserve protection and are not receiving it. Currently, there is a dire need for landscape scale-based heritage site protection and local cultural enrichment in better alignment with tribal values. Collaborating with current communities for long-term land use practices and sacred site management is necessary for sustainable cultures and the diversity of our future and generations to come. Sacred sites which are located throughout the region hold valuable knowledge, as they are a treasure to be protected in one's own backyard. The time is now for a holistic management of the cultural landscapes of the Salish Sea. Come soar with us.